अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम यसर रब्बानी ख़ान है और मैं आज मैनेजमेंट मार्केटिंग एंड मीडिया पे हम बात करेंगे। और इस सिलसिले में जो हमारा टॉपिक है, आज का टॉपिक है हमारा चेंज मैनेजमेंट। व्हेन वी से अबाउट चेंज मैनेजमेंट, लीडिंग चेंज मीन्स चेंजिंग हाउ यू लीड, and then we should understand कि transform your organization for better performance, for becoming a leader of change. And when we say about lead, we mean learn, engage, accelerate and disrupt. Learn the updated business situation, engage your workforce, accelerate the change and disrupt the functions for better results. The key requirements of leadership for change is flexibility and empathy. When we talk about flexibility, it must be related to context. That means it should be contextually effective. And when we say about context, that means, for example, in a business organization, context means maybe HR, maybe sales, maybe marketing, maybe procurement or supply chain and so on. So when we say flexibility context wise, that each department should be flexible and empathetic to the function or to the workforce. It has been seen that founders, entrepreneurs and managing directors have different attitudes and attributes to run the company. Leaders should think of contextual effectiveness as comprising three main tasks. Number one, drawing the map. And when we say map, that means the entire organogram and the entire functional structure of the company. And we should understand that it should be recognized, an issue should be recognized before it becomes an emergency. They consistently map the changing dynamics of the company environment. They create a clear, prioritized vision for where the business should be headed. That means, for example, you are doing a business of pharmaceuticals manufacturing. Do you want to continue with this? Do you want to change your business? Do you want to improve the functional operation or expand the products that and then divest some of the products? That means your decision. Then number two is establishing the mindset. When we say mindset, that means cognitive understanding. Cognitive understanding means mental understanding. Shared conviction. Are your workforce convinced about what you think? There should be a conviction in the entire workforce about your philosophy, about your thinking, about your decision, about what you want to do and where you want to go. Then next is necessity of change. Whatever is being done today, should it be continued? Should it be changed? That needs to be decided. And as we understand that with the change in the dynamics of business, change is organizational change or functional change or operational change has become a necessity. An enthusiasm for the improvements that successful change will bring about. That means change can be successful only if the workforce is enthusiastic for the change with a positive mindset. This enthusiasm is vital because achieving change is harder than maintaining the status quo, and that needs each and every member of the workforce to remain motivated and to remain convinced about the change and its operation. Then communicating the message. Communicating the message means that the decision has been taken for a change, and that decision should be shared by the entire workforce, and it identifies the needed change, and the mindset creates the appetite for change. And when we say that appetite for change, that means the workforce and the management should be very much enthusiastic and willing to change the old system of operation, the old system of doing business. And then the message is the key tool for activating that change. Change should be activated. When we say activated, that means all employees or the entire workforce should become active to make the change. No matter how you look at it, the world continues to change faster, and headlines reflect what we experience every day. And that includes COVID-19, the economic recession worldwide, the BRICS dominance, the Russian-Ukraine war, the bipolar, unipolar, multipolar world, dollar delinked as an international currency, and so on. As we know that when America or USA and Soviet Union were the world power, that was a bipolar world. After the disintegration of Soviet Union, America or USA became the unipolar, the sole power, and it became a unipolar world. But today, America, China, India, Russia, they are rising very fast, and therefore it has become a multipolar world. To do your business and to make the change, you need to build new muscles, new behaviors, and new ways of working. When we say new muscles, that means organizational strength which can meet the business challenges, sustain long into the future. Starting some change is easy, but maintaining that change and sustaining that change on a long-term basis is a difficult task. New practices must be deeply rooted and anchored to replace the old ways. And when we say new practices, that also includes new skills. That means the entire workforce should be well equipped with the new skills needed for the new change. Building culture of organizational muscle, adapt and thrive, make the change and move on. Align leaders for purposeful agile teams. Leaders should be aligned together with a sole purpose and an agile or active team. Leaders' alignment is very important, and that should be increased with every step of function. Tools for culture-based decisions. When we say culture-based decisions, that means there are many culture in an organization based on ethnicity, based on language, based on religion, based on social norms, and so on. And therefore, culture-based decisions should be taken, and for that there must be some adaptation and some tools. Improve workplace well-being. When we say workplace well-being, some management expert in the past told that if you want to see how good an organization is, visit the washroom. That means if the washroom is properly kept, neat and clean, that means the organization takes care of its employees well. The second thing is the canteen, the lunch. If the lunch provided to the workforce is good enough, that means once again that the organization is taking good care of its people. When we say building culture of organizational muscle, we mean increase wholeness plus engagement. Wholeness of the idea, wholeness of the function, wholeness of the engagement, and then increase employee engagement. Employees should be engaged. It is very unlikely that if you pass an order, the employees will follow it. It is very unlikely that all of them may not follow your order or your instructions as you want them to follow. But if you engage the employees, if you engage the workforce, then your objective will be achieved. And under such situation, you need to increase the empathy. Which employees' strengths and weaknesses you need to see. That employees have their strengths and weaknesses, and they have their personal problems as well. You need to consider all. Remember, an employee when joins your organization, he comes in totality. When I say he comes in totality, that means he comes with his education, with his expertise, with his language, with his ethnicity, with his family and all. And he or she cannot leave his family, his ethnicity, his religion and so on. So you must be empathetic to each and every employee to engage him or her for your change objectives, and then build resilience. As I have said earlier also, that resilience is how quick you can recover from a setback. Each employee should be resilient to change. If something is not working, that does not mean that it should be left undone. It must be tried once again, maybe with a different mode of operation, but it must be done, and that is resilience. It must be left out or dropped. Then there are remote and hybrid teams nowadays, and we say there are functions which are done remotely, and there are works which are done by hybrid teams that need to be managed properly, so that the remote worker can understand the meaning of change that we are going to implement, and they are ready to support you. Then connect and reconnect with your team. It should not be taken granted that whatever you have said or whatever instruction you have passed on will be followed month after month after month after month. No. You must reconnect, and you must see that the work is being done as you want it to be done. When we say culture muscle, there are core strengths for your organizations. That means visualize victory, where you want to go from here during the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years and 20 years and so on. You must visualize and then work accordingly to achieve your success, and stay realistic. Can you do it? Can you not? You must assess your strength and weaknesses, market opportunities and market threats, and based on those realistic assumptions or hypotheses, you chalk out your plan and you chalk out the change that you are going to take. And as I have said earlier, skills development is very important. That means your workforce should be trained well, and you need to plan employee training because something new you are going to introduce or you have already introduced, and all the employees are not familiar with all the tools that is going to be required tomorrow for proper functioning, and therefore employee training is very essential. A strong culture core makes a strong business organization. When we say a strong culture core, that means someone has developed a formula which is called ABC: attitude, behavior, culture. A positive attitude, a good behavior makes the culture, and either is it a positive culture, a strong culture, toxic culture, or whatever, that needs to be groomed, and you need to develop a strong culture for a successful organization. Maintain consistent demanding standards for everyone in your company. Identify high potential managers and develop them quickly, because they are the real achievers, and if you do not take care of them, they are going to leave your company and you will be the loser. They will not. Expose them to different problems and functions. Let me tell you that in big or good business universities like Harvard, the people, the senior managers who are trained there are given exhaustive training, and they are exposed different problems and functions, and they are given a very exhaustive training, so that when they come back, they can be very competent in their functions. Make measurable progress in the quality of your senior management group and in the people heading each functional area. That means quality of management is very important. And when we say quality of management, that means the ideas, the new philosophy, the changed culture, and so on. Generate better quality executives and backups. Quality executives are more knowledgeable, they have more ideas, they are more versatile, they are more focused, and they are more competent. 5 steps of business muscle building. Set higher performance standards for everyone and keep raising the standards. Develop managers through fresh assignments and job rotation. Keep everyone learning. Make a learning culture. Facilitate and reward managers' development. Either inside, sponsored by the company, outside, sponsored by the company, or facilitated by the company. Infuse each level of company with new talent. New blood should be inducted off and on, so that you can have new ideas. Use HR as an active agent for change. And remember, emotion is the biggest motivating factor. Head does not work all the time. Reason and logic do not work all the time. You have to mix it with heart, with sentiments. You can't appeal to people with data and facts alone. You must also account for how people feel, their sentiments, their emotions, their likes, their dislikes. If you can provide greater meaning and purpose to their efforts, amazing things are going to possible. Thank you very much.